Hello and welcome. You know that feeling when you think about money and your stomach just drops? Well, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to take that financial anxiety and turn it into real confidence. We're going to build a solid foundation, step by step, no jargon, no confusion. So let's get started and lay that very first brick. But first, I have a question for you, and I want you to really think about it. Do you control your money, or does it control you? The goal here? To put you 100% in the driver's seat. Everything we're about to do is designed to give you exactly that: control, power, and, honestly, some peace of mind.
All right, every great building starts with understanding the ground it's built on, right? For us, that means taking a clear, honest look at where we're standing right now. This is our financial snapshot, and it's the most important first step we can take.
Now, the first thing we're going to look at is called net worth. I know it sounds kind of fancy and intimidating, but I promise it's so simple. Think of it like a financial "you are here" sign on a map. It's just a number, a starting point. And let me be really clear, it has nothing to do with your self-worth. It's just a simple formula: what you own minus what you owe.
So let's make this real. On one side of the equation, you've got your assets. That's the good stuff. The cash in your bank account, your car, maybe a home or some investments. On the other side, you have your liabilities, what you owe. That could be some credit card debt, a car loan, or student debt. The difference between what you own and what you owe, that's it. That's your net worth. See? Simple.
And to manage all of this, you really only need two basic tools to get started. First, a checking account. That's your home base for day-to-day spending, paying bills, buying groceries. And second, a savings account. That's where you'll start stashing money for your future goals and for that all-important safety net. Okay, foundation's poured. We know exactly where we stand. So now what? Well, now it's time to draw up the blueprint. This is our plan, the map that's going to tell our money exactly where to go, so we're not left at the end of the month scratching our heads wondering, where did it all go? And that blueprint is called a budget. Now, I know the word budget can feel like it's about restriction, but it's not. It's about intention. A budget just gives every single one of your dollars a specific job to do. And trust me, this cuts down on so much stress and that constant mental chatter of, can I actually afford this? Because you've already made the decision ahead of time.
So, how do we actually create this blueprint? Well, a fantastic and super simple place to start is the 50-30-20 rule. It's a really popular guideline for splitting up your after-tax income into just three main buckets.
Here's how it works. 50% of your take-home pay goes to your absolute needs. We're talking rent, utilities, groceries, the have-to-haves. Then 30% is for your wants. This is the fun stuff: dining out, hobbies, entertainment. And that last, absolutely crucial 20%, that goes towards savings. Things like building an emergency fund, paying down debt, and investing in your future. Now let's zoom in on that critical 20% for savings. The very first job for that money is to build something that is totally non-negotiable: your emergency fund. Seriously, think of this as the fire extinguisher in the financial house you're building. It's that cash safety net for when life throws you a curveball, so a surprise car repair doesn't turn into a total financial disaster.
I know, building one can feel like a huge task. So let's break it down. Your first goal, just get to $1,000. That amount alone is a massive psychological win. Once you hit that milestone, then you can start working towards the bigger goal of saving up 3 to 6 months of your essential living expenses, one step at a time.
So where do you keep this emergency cash? Well, you've got options. A checking account isn't great because it's too easy to spend. A CD might lock your money up when you need it most. For an emergency fund, a high-yield savings account is often the sweet spot. It keeps your money safe, you can get to it quickly, and it earns a little more interest than a regular old savings account.
Okay, we've got our foundation, we have our blueprint, the walls are starting to go up. But now, we have to protect our structure from a silent, invisible threat. An enemy that acts like a thief, slowly, quietly, eating away at the value of our hard-earned money.
And that enemy has a name: inflation. It's the reason a gallon of milk or a movie ticket costs way more today than it did 10 years ago. It basically means that the cash you have just sitting around is slowly losing its power to buy things over time. So, how do we fight this time thief? We fight it with a secret weapon called the time value of money. This is a huge idea in finance, but the concept is simple. It just means that money you have today is more valuable than the same amount in the future. Why? Because you can invest it and make it grow. This is how we make time our ally, not our enemy.
This quote from Investopedia just says it all, doesn't it? Money that's invested grows. Money that's not invested, well, it can actually lose value. It's losing its purchasing power every single day because of inflation. So the big takeaway here is we have got to put our money to work.
Let's look at this in action. Imagine you have $10,000 today. If you just shove it under your mattress, in a year, it's still $10,000, but it'll buy you less stuff.
But what if you invest it and earn a 10% return? Well, now it's become $11,000. That extra $1,000, that is the time value of your money in action. It's your money making more money for you. That right there is the magic of compounding.
So, with our solid foundation, our clear blueprint, and our defenses up against inflation, it is finally time to build upward. This is the really exciting part, making your money actively work for you by investing. This is where we shift from playing defense to playing offense. Investing isn't some secret club for the rich. It is the single most powerful tool we have to build real, long-term wealth and make sure our savings grow faster than inflation. A great rule of thumb to aim for is investing 15% of your pre-tax income for retirement.
Now, the world of investing is huge, but let's look at just one specific example of an inflation-fighting tool. They're called TIPS, which stands for Treasury Inflation Protected Securities. These are special government bonds where the actual value of your investment goes up with inflation. It's a very direct way to protect your money's purchasing power, and it's considered super safe because it's backed by the US government. It's just one of many amazing tools you'll find on your investment journey.
And there you have it, 4 clear, totally manageable steps that create the bedrock of financial control. First, you take a snapshot to know exactly where you are. Then you draw up a blueprint to guide your money. You learn to protect its value from inflation. And finally, you grow your wealth for the future.
You now have the entire framework for a strong financial house. The foundation is poured, and you are holding the blueprint. So really, the only question left to ask is, what are you going to build next? The possibilities are now all yours.